All right, so let's do a quick tour of Mexican Road Atlas. I bought this. It says it's 300 pesos, which is 15 bucks. It cost me more than 70 because I ordered it in the U.S. From a map distributor site or something, and it's some of the best money I've ever spent. And it gives you all these highlights and stuff, different sites. So what we would do is cross into Tijuana, take the bus down to Ensenada, spend, I don't know, at least one night in every place, depending on the place, maybe two or three. In my experience, 4 is a good max. You don't really want to go much farther than that if you're just passing through. That's a long time. Down to Donde está? Lázaro Cárdenas. And then it just keeps going. It tells you El Rosario de Arriba, Mission San Juan de Velacata, which I would stop at those places. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're not gonna make any. We're not on a time schedule. We can't be. We're gonna go frankly, where God leads us to go. Rosarito, I think, would be a major town, or at least Punta Santa Rosalita, something. I don't know. I've never been to the Baja. I've been to Tijuana once, and it's really cool. Cross into Baja Sur, Guerrero Negro, Black Warrior. That's just a cool name for a town. Probably spend a night there. We probably won't spend any time. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Santa Rosalia. We might live our rest of our lives in Santa Rosalia. Whether we live 40 more years or 40 more minutes. Who knows, right? Down, 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 and then there's La Paz. It takes you all the way to La Paz. It's 900 miles from Tijuana to La Paz. And then in La Paz, you take the ferry to Mazatlan. So, yeah, and then this is just the map. It's we spent the night in Gomez Palacio once on the way back to the U.S. in 2022. We crossed once in Nuevo Progreso, kind of around Reynosa. I think we took it's easy to get lost in Mexico. In fact, it's inevitable. And then you take Highway 40 that's Monterrey. So it's just kind of a very detailed map of Mexico. Tampico, where Treasure of the Sierra Madre starts. And then this, actually, I highlighted. It's really kind of funny to look at. We were living in Guanajuato, and it was time to go, so we were going to go to Mexico City. We only spent 3 days, and I didn't. I just had a regular phone, so not a smartphone, no map. So this was our map. So I have to say, it's real easy to get lost. This right here, Guanajuato and Marfil and all that, is really, really complicated. It's not just a nice red line out of town. It's not obvious at all. And then Salamanca. Salamanca, when I was in Mexico in 2019, I was taking the bus from Querétaro to Guanajuato, and it was the first dead body I've ever seen that wasn't in a funeral situation. And it was on the highway there, Highway 45, somewhere near Salamanca. Celaya is really dangerous. Like the little town I lived in, which was near San Miguel up here in the upper right. One of my friends, Mexican guy, would say, Celaya. He said when I had to go to Home Depot into Celaya, I wouldn't even stop for gas. I just go into town and get my stuff and get out. There's a lot. It's a contested border area between. I want to say, I'm not sure. A lot of different cartels. Santa Rosa Lima is kind of a big cartel in this area. In fact, this is where I lived with the bass player. I didn't live with him, but that's where I had the band, San Jose Iturbide. And we went to Mineral de Pozos, which is a really beautiful town. San Luis de la Paz is really cool. It's interesting towns. Not like tourist destinations exactly. Mineral de Pozos kind of is. Mineral Wells, I think. But anyway, I highlighted the trip down to Mexico City on the map so I would be able to reference it um, while driving. And I have to say, in hindsight, that's really kind of funny because it's madness. Driving is madness down there. It's not like it is here where you can, you know, you have any idea where you're going. You know what I mean? And then I just drove. We drove to Ciudad de Mexico, and I think the Ciudad de Mexico map. This has different city maps, just kind of basic. There's La Paz and Ensenada. Useful, basic reference, not very detailed, but good enough. So here's the map of Ciudad de Mexico, and I had this highlighted, like I'm going to come down this road, and I mean, I got lost, like right here, like right there, immediately, maybe at that turn. It's really unclear, and we got off at Insurgentes. We went to Culiacan. That's where we're supposed to be. That's where we were kind of going, in that neighborhood right there, but it wasn't that obvious, and turned out to be kind of a mess. And we ended up going back. Me and the cats ended up going back to a hotel near the Centro. It's near the Zocalo neighborhood. Where is it? Right there. A hotel like on Hidalgo and right near that park, Bellas Arts. Anyway, so yeah, and so it's a good map. It's got all detail. There's Chetumal, or how you pronounce that, with Belize under it, and there's Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, Golfo de Mexico. What's really kind of funny, and then it's got all these detailed like mileage markers. Like if you were driving from Ciudad de Mexico to Cuernavaca, it tells you, how far it is to Plan de Ayala or Ayala, something, whatever. Topalejo, etc. The mileage markers, what's at each exit, restaurants, food, gas, etc. Which is kind of cool, kind of a nice little feature. What is also kind of cool, I'm not sure exactly where it is. Yes, the map of the United States is all in Spanish. Dakota del Norte, Dakota del Sur, Canada, Estados Unidos. It's all, obviously, Nuevo Mexico, or here, Nueva York, Nuevo Hampshire, Nueva Jersey, Delaware, Virginia Occidental, Carolina del Norte, Carolina del Sur, Florida, Florida, or however they pronounce it. And then, of course, the Mexican states that border it. So anyway, that's my Mexican road atlas. And yeah, it's going to be one of our essential items on the road. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.